Welcome back, guys. Today we're talking about assets that will make you rich. In 2020, there's a great potential for an even increased recession. I think you could technically say we were in a recession for 2020 when we had 2 quarters in a row with decreased gross domestic product, and so basically revenue was down two quarters in a row. That's technically a recession, and then we kind of pulled out of it because we had a third quarter that was profitable. But many people and many indicators suggest that maybe we're not through it, because a lot of businesses have been sort of propped up, maybe helped out a little bit. Certain loans have not been required to be paid, etc. But the longer that stuff goes on, and the longer businesses are sort of semi-shut down, they can't survive like that. Most businesses are operating on something like 15-20% profit margins, and if you dramatically decrease, customers coming into the stores and things like that, there's just no way to survive. You can't really run a business when you cut 20% of your profit out. You're basically not profitable for a lot of these businesses. So we'll probably start to see those actually realized bankruptcies or businesses out, jobs lost in the next couple quarters. So it'll be telling. Maybe we are actually through it. Maybe we're going up, but it seems like we probably still have quite a ways to go. And if you look at like the revenue curve, I've talked about these in some recent videos, but the revenue to debt ratio and things like that, it's getting out of whack. So there's a lot of things that are pointing to increased recession. And so really in a recession, assets are the things that are going to make you rich. Now, assets are what make you rich anytime, right? Anytime you hear someone say you should be investing, you need to invest your money, invest. Well, that means acquire assets. That's what that means. You need to be acquiring assets. So the title of this video, assets that will make you rich in 2021, they're essentially the same assets that'll make you rich in any economy, but even more in a recession, because people who have certain assets in recessions lose less money or even have the ability to capitalize on all the sales that exist across the economy. I like to say it's on sale, right? Because like if stock prices drop, but that business is still a viable business for the next 100 years, it's really just on sale. It's a discounted rate. Same with houses, right? It's like the housing market generally goes up over time. Housing costs, that's both due to inflation and, they don't make more land. So if, you own a bunch of properties, they're building more houses, more buildings, but they don't make more land. And so having property in good locations with houses on them, they tend to appreciate both because of rarity, and then also, inflation causes housing prices to go up, and cost of living, etc. So owning assets makes you rich, especially in a recession. And if you can both continue to own assets that will pay you and then capitalize on all the assets that are on sale, that's where you make millions. More millionaires are made in times of recession than any other time. So let's jump into a few of these things. Robert Kiyosaki basically teaches that there's 4 asset classes. Okay, so you got businesses. You can buy or own businesses. If you're a local business owner, you could start a restaurant or whatever. I mean, just get into business, mechanic shop, etc. Real estate, that's number 2. And there's various types of real estate as well, right? Paper assets, those would be your stocks, bonds, mutual funds, savings accounts, etc. Those are paper assets. And the variety between cash and stocks is a dramatic difference, but they're all kind of in the same thing. And then the last one would be commodities. So commodities are things like crude oil, produce, beans, wheat, whatever, gold, silver. So there's a lot of variety in commodities. So how do you acquire these and what to watch for? So number 1, you've got to live by your budget. Like, you have to live by a budget. No matter how much money you make, you always will have to live by a budget or you'll ruin it. Right? I was just listening to Jim Rohn, and he talked about how the quality of person that you are is directly related to the quality of life you live. Right? That's finances, that's relationships, etc. The good news is you can have more because you can become more. If you improve yourself, you'll improve your circumstances, and that's just the truth, right? Well, one aspect of that is money. If you don't know how to handle money, you'll lose it all. So if somebody hands you $1 million, you better become a millionaire real quick, or that $1 million is going to go away. So millionaires are millionaires consistently because they know how to handle money, they know how to earn money, they know how to keep it, right? So you have to live by a budget. Even if you make a lot of money, you could still blow it all. You need to know how much is going to savings, how much is going to accumulating more assets, how much is going to your living expenses, and how much is going to philanthropy or entertainment or whatever. So spend less than you make sure that you can acquire assets during this recession. Okay, so let's jump into it. Stocks. This is the easiest thing, the easiest side hustle, easiest asset to acquire that I'm aware of, right? I mean, I spend a fair amount of time playing the stock market because I love it. And when I say playing, it literally feels like play. Like, I don't do a ton of deep research on stocks and like spend enormous amounts of time just trying to get an edge. Basically, I have a very basic method, and you can go check it out on some of my other videos. But basically, I'm looking for good trends, industries that I believe in, and good ratings from the experts. And if those things check out, I'm pretty much buying. Now, I made like nearly 40% this year in 2020. So, depending on how much money you have, like if you have $1 million at 40%, that's $400,000. That's a super easy side income, right? $100,000, that's $40,000. A lot of people don't even make $40,000 a year, period, much less $40,000 a year basically for doing almost nothing. So I just have the app on my phone. I transfer a certain amount of money to my account every week. It's automatically deposited. I jump on there. I'll buy stocks here and there and let it ride. And I made 38% in 2020 on my account. So that's great side hustle money. But you know what stocks are? Stocks are ownership of businesses, right? Those are assets. So most of them pay a monthly or quarterly or annual dividend, which is literally paying me cash to my account. But secondly, these are businesses that should do well for many years to come. And so when you think of that, I'm a partial owner of successful businesses. Those are assets that you want to own. You want to have your paws on those and have claim to things like that. You should own a piece of Amazon and Apple and Walmart and a bunch of other things, right? You just imagine had you owned them for the last decade or two, you'd have made great money, right? It's the easiest way to start. There's no boss, there's no employees, there's no hours that you're required to be, on or offline. You can do it anytime, literally. Even after the stock market is closed, you can still put in orders to buy and sell stocks, things like that. In fact, a lot of stocks will buy and sell during closed hours. So it's super easy, and you can spend as much or as little time in it as you want. Number 2 is real estate. This one's a little more difficult to get involved with, right? It's a very valuable one, but you can't just go buying partial shares of houses very easily unless you do it in the stock market, right? So the stock market, you can start with basically no money. $50, you can buy a couple different shares of stocks, $50. Real estate, not so much. $250,000 house, you got to put 20% down. That's $50,000 that you're going to have to come up with in order to buy the house. It's a long process to get into, right? Just to put in the find the houses or properties, take a look at them, put in an offer gets accepted. You go through the whole process of filling out the paperwork, getting the title, all the things that are involved with that. It typically takes 30 days to close on a property. So it's not very quick entry and exit. It's difficult, it's high cost. However, real estate historically has made so many people millionaires because you can buy properties that appreciate in their sort of inherent value, so appreciation. they pay you monthly. If you have renters and tenants, right, they're paying you monthly. And then you can also take advantage of taxes. So there's kind of three ways that you basically make money or avoid paying money in real estate. And so those are amazing assets. And lastly, become a business owner. Small businesses that are privately held businesses. And small businesses can be in the several $1 million range, but basically it's businesses that are not publicly held. And so you can, if you are an entrepreneur and you want to get involved with some businesses, this is another way that you take advantage of taxes, because in business you pay money on your net profit essentially. And so you can find ways to write off profit and still increase your assets, your net worth. So like you could buy more equipment, more machinery, more office space, etc. And essentially you're acquiring assets, but they're expenses to your business. And so you don't pay taxes for the profits that you basically turned into expenses. And so there's ways to reduce how much you pay in taxes. And taxes are typically, for most people, taxes is the number one cost in your life. When you look across your lifetime, you're going to pay an astronomical amount of money through taxes. So if you can avoid paying taxes, you win big time. And so being a business owner is one of the other best assets. Now, time of recession though, business ownership scares me. Unless you got some edge on the market, I don't know that I would want to be in business, right? So, I mean, you could get fired from your job, same as you could lose your business, but being the actual business owner is much more stressful. So for me personally, the two things that I'm looking at in this recession are real estate and stocks. Certain stocks are going to skyrocket, and other stocks are going to bottom out. Even commodities and things like that will probably have some varied prices, but mostly come down. In recessions, most things fall. And so you can take advantage of all those sales that come. So anyway, I hope this was a helpful video to you as far as what is an asset, how to get your hands on it, and easy or difficult, the level of difficulty that they are to acquire and manage. But if you found value in this, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And if you're a YouTuber yourself and you're interested in YouTube resources to help you better analyze which videos you should do next and how to rank and things like that, I recommend TubeBuddy. So I'll put the link below. You can click that and get these resources for as little as $4.50 a month. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.